Good morning, everybody, and thank you for coming to today's Restaurant News Networking Group. Today is June the 7th, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
I got it right.
Friday, June 7th.
And we are a group of vendors who are here to help each other grow our business and to help any owner, manager, or chef of a restaurant or a bar with any questions or concerns they may have. We're here to help, and you can pick our brains. If you want to reach us, give us a call at 561-620-8888, or go to our website at trnusa.com and take a look at our YouTube channel, which is Today's Restaurant, and you can get there through our website at trnusa.com. And good morning, everybody. And we're going to start out with our introduction so the people who are watching know who we are. Then I have a couple of interesting topics we might be able to take a look at. Steve, why don't you start us off?
Good morning, everyone. I'm Steve Whitehill with Anchor Business Brokers, and I help people buy and sell businesses of all sorts. Today, I'd like to tell you about a restaurant equipment cleaning company. And that company has sales of $723,000, and on that it makes $229,000. It can be bought for $420,000. It cleans restaurants and hospitals and institutional kitchens. So there are all sorts of interesting opportunities and ways to make a good living in every field. And this is an interesting opportunity itself. It's got 4 full-time employees, 5 part-time, and 1 manager. Interesting opportunity. Steve Whitehill, Anchor Business Brokers. I can be reached at steve@anchorbb.com, and my phone number is 561-376-7500. Thank you, everyone. Have a great week.
Is that business in Florida?
It is. It's in the Orlando area, in fact. It's a 16-year-old business.
Okay.
Oh, they have they also have hood cleaning certifications, which is a big issue, as everybody's aware of in the restaurant industry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd love to talk to them.
Okay.
Is it your listing?
No, that's all right. I make money either way.
No, I understand. So I'm gonna. Okay. One of the topics that I wanted to bring up, it's right down your alley, Steve. Well, you have time? Or are you leaving?
I'm leaving.
Okay,
This
well,
is
I'll
a
say.
big deal. Sorry. We'll talk offline. Take care, one and all. Have a great week.
See ya.
Okay. Ed, good morning.
Hi, Steve.
Thank you, Howard. Good morning, everybody. This is Ed Gerton with Seacoast Sales in Orange Park, Florida. We're located just west of Jacksonville in marvelous Clay County, Florida. We're an equipment supply company that specializes in frozen dessert equipment. So we have ice cream machines, batch freezers from Carpigiani, whipped cream machines, slushy machines. We have display cases for ice cream, pastry, and gelato from ISA and or GTI Design or IFI. We have BGI equipment, which is our continuous churning ice cream machines. You can reach me at 904-334-4489. Have a good day.
Thank you. Rick, good morning.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Thank you for having us here today. It is a wonderful day here in Alabama, beautiful and sunny. I am part of a independent agency that helps individuals get into the Medicare space after leaving their group. We also can help individuals who are business owners who don't want to look at having to pay the big dollars to their major health insurance company, so we can help them get their employees into the ACA plans and also group benefits, which are voluntary, like critical illness, accidental death and dismemberment, cancer policies. We're located in downtown Huntsville, Alabama. Our telephone number is 256-937-2537. And I can be reached also at rickbamainsurance@gmail.com.
Great. Thank you. Mike, good morning.
Morning. I am Mike Sardone with Spot On. We are a point of sale and credit card processing company. We do all of your restaurant needs for point of sale and really a lot of things in between. Some of the ancillary products that we have are Teamwork, which handles labor management, time clock, things like that. We have reserve platforms, as well as loyalty, marketing, and a few other programs as well. Our main goal is to grow your client base, retain clients, also help keep staff, and boost profitability. Um, I'm local in the Atlanta area. My contact info is 678-231-2279, and my email is mike.sardone, SARDONE, at spoton.com. And thank you for not making me go after Chris Kaufman. So I appreciate it.
I'm leaving that for Brian.
I know.
Or maybe Terry. All right, Chris, you're up.
Good morning, everybody. Chris Kaufman providing all-star talent. All-star 404-255-7827. We provide all-star talent to restaurants, hotels, clubs, primarily working on behalf of the hotels, restaurants, and clubs to find the talent that they desire. There's a lot of opportunity out there for people who have culinary degrees these days, as well as people with operations backgrounds. And one thing I've noticed, and this may be a trend, this may be something employers need to take a look at and be careful about, are resumes that are AI generated. I read a resume the other night, and I have looked at resumes for over 4 decades, and I've never seen language like what I read the other night. And it was, to borrow a phrase from Mike Sardone, it was spot on. Coming from some type of AI thing in the cloud. It was word for word, just a little bit too descriptive. Also, got a resume of a chef who left the business, and now he's back in the business. But when he left, he went to a doggy daycare place in Jupiter, Florida, called the Wall Dog Astoria. The Wall Dog Astoria. I looked it up, and it really does exist. And we take great care of your dog in a luxury sense.
So is the chef making gourmet lunches for the dogs?
Yes. And now there's a shortage of cats. You be the judge.
Oh,
I know. So there's in reading about one of the earliest people in America who ever got into the recruiting business. His name was Thorndike DeLand, and they say that he loved the business so much, even when he was in the nursing home, he was asking people in the nursing home if they would like to make a change. Which that's a recruiter from now and forever. So we primarily are excited about the second half of the year. We're about ready to kick off in a couple of weeks. But right now we're in the thick of things with the wrapping up the second quarter. It's been more active than it was last year at this time, which is great. And so we are based out of Vidalia, Georgia, where the pretty people come to play. But we work throughout the United States. And you can reach us providing all-star talent for restaurants at 404 all-star 404-255-7827. That's the latest and the greatest. Thank you for coming by.
I'm waiting to receive a resume from a member of another group on Wednesday morning that Brian and I belong to. And he's management. But he was in food service, and he wants to get back into it. So as soon as I get it, we'll forward it to you.
Thank you. Be glad to talk to him. All right.
Did I steal your thunder, Brian?
No.
Was
It's
that
all right.
thunder?
It's all right following Chris. It's all right.
All right, Brian. Good morning.
Morning, everybody. Where do I begin? No, I'm Brian. I'm with a company called Rogue Financial Group. We're a commercial equipment financing company. We finance from small projects, large projects. We do a lot of startups, existing business, franchises, I primarily focus on the hospitality side. And again, commercial financing. When I say commercial financing, it's equipment financing. It's a loan. Kind of some of the benefits of the loan is that it does have tax advantages. It will build your pay net in your business. And again, we can look at a 2 to 5 year loan, set payments, pay it off early without a penalty. Again, Brian with Rogue Financial Group. I can be reached at 404-723-7222. And my email is brian@rogueleasing.com.
Brian told me yesterday that as a result of some of the e-blast that he's been doing with us, he got a phone call yesterday from a former member of somebody in our 11 o'clock group who does kiosks for big corporations and chain operations. And hopefully Brian can
I'm gonna
partner
reach
up
back
with
out to
him
him today.
Yeah, so good luck with that.
Mhm.
Terry, good
What?
morning.
Good morning. Being the only female in the group, it's a little bit strange.
Intimidating.
How, yes. Well, actually, no, I used to run a company that was all men. So, but yes. Okay, so what I do is find out who's opening, when, where, how big, owner's name, email, phone numbers. We have a group that does this, and it comes to you by the 9th or 10th. We have one in Florida covering the Panhandle down to Key West, where that little sign is that says furthermost southern place in the United States. And then we have a report in Georgia, which is about half the size, I must say, of the Florida report. Not really sure why. There's a lot going on in Georgia, but Florida just seems to attract everybody in all areas. I am telling you, there's a restaurant on the corner here that has recently closed, and then another one right behind it on the other corner, and there's already signs up. One's going to be a kosher place called Bagel Boss. They are opening actually 3 or, look at Chris, 3 or 4 restaurants here in Florida. You know about them, Chris.
Oh, just the name Bagel Boss. I tell you,
Oh,
I'm the Bagel Boss.
Well,
yeah.
coming from New York, yeah.
Mhm.
That used
No
to be
problem with that. Forget about it.
that was an Einstein Bagels location, and they took it over.
Yeah. And finding out now that there's going to be 3 coming in, and actually that sign's been up for a bit. And I keep going by and it's still not open. And there's many other places I could drive within a half a mile and find signs on buildings coming soon, which is what I'm going to do this weekend. So I will have a bunch of stuff, but these reports are second to none. I have to say, without any hesitation, our reports are very, very comprehensive. And that's what I do. I make sure they get out to an Excel spreadsheet. You may sort them any way you'd like. I actually just had a pretty large company this week, this is Friday, this week, purchase the reports for 6 months. They only need 2 cities. Now, I told them we cannot sort these out. You're going to have to just take the full reports. She said, well, we'll just get rid of the rest of them. And thinking in my head, I'm like, okay, that your report to do whatever you want to do with. However, if it were me being a foremost sales manager, I would sell them the balance of whoever can use them, for 2 other of my colleagues. So at any rate, they did pay the price for just 2 cities. So just to show you, I sent them a sample and they were very impressed. And honestly, the two cities they need are not two of the greatest where people are coming in. It's the East Coast or the West Coast. There's a lot, but nowhere near what the East Coast has. So I can be reached at Terry with an I at trnusa.com. Everybody have a very good weekend. I am counting down the days till I will be in California.
Can you imagine with, everybody's hearing about all these restaurants that are closing now. Red Lobster going BK, and there was a Mexican chain that I heard yesterday. I
There's
forget
a
which one.
Applebee's.
Which one?
Well,
There's
there's
a-
also Applebee's.
Yeah.
Did they declare bankruptcy?
Yes, they.
Uh,
It was. I think it was Applebee's, because they're in with another company, Chris. I can't remember exactly because they
Ruby
mentioned two. No, Ruby Tuesday has been gone for a while. Who the main company that owns Applebee's? There was another restaurant involved in it, and they're going under. They're trying to figure something out.
But now just try and visualize this. Let's say, I don't know how many Red Lobsters there were, probably several hundred,
650.
650. And Applebee's, how many in Applebee's? 400, maybe.
At least.
And
Yeah.
this Mexican chain, another couple of hundred. How much
that was
restaurant equipment
on
is
a
going
flat.
to be available on the market
Yeah.
from all of these chains? I mean, if a Red Lobster is going out, does a pizzeria go in behind it and use the same equipment? No, they have to get rid of some of it, at
Right.
least some of it. And all right, Brian.
But
Well,
a lot of that equipment, so the hoods are probably going to be good.
right.
Okay. Refrigeration, yeah, I guess I would say, but a lot of the stuff like your fryers, some of your other, griddles or whatever are probably going to be pretty outdated. If you don't buy like a Frymaster or a Pitco, or there's a couple other ones, a lot of times these, those last a while. I had a client that had Frymasters that were that lasted about 20 years. Okay. About 2 years ago, I replaced them because he needed to replace them. But a lot of that equipment, depends on how it all depends on how they take care of it, how they service it. Refrigeration could be pretty good, but a lot of, your hoods could be probably pretty good because a lot of people.
But just the volume of equipment. I mean,
Yeah.
even I don't know whether if they even auction them off, that there's going to be so much equipment for X amount of people. It's going to be crazy. But I'll tell you what, when I was in business in New York on the Bowery, I knew people who had buildings full of equipment that they had purchased in a situation like this for pennies on the dollar. And they held it like a 401k, because that equipment just came back. Obviously, over years, that equipment was sellable at a higher price because prices are continually going up.
Hey,
So-
Howard, think about. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I thought you were done.
No, go ahead.
No, so you're talking about that. Well, in March of this year, I just saw that what's going on with Applebee's is they're owned by IHOP. And so they're with Applebee's shrinking in size, they're going to do a concept where it's going to be a joint restaurant where the back of the house is going to be everything and the front of the house is going to be marketed as Applebee's and IHOP. And so, talk about restaurant equipment. If you do something like that, maybe that's why IHOP started doing hamburgers. Maybe they saw a concept coming and they decided to go with it. I don't know. Chris, you know any more on that?
Well, I mentioned hamburgers. A friend of mine who works at Arby's tells me that I think it's seriously next week or the week after, Arby's will be selling hamburgers.
They're advertising it already.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And get this, they are deep fried.
Are they really?
Deep
Ah,
fried hamburgers.
All
Deep
right.
fried.
Oh, and they're going right next door to cardiologist office.
Yeah, there's
You know-
one.
want the-
There's a place in Mississippi that does that. I had them one time, and it is greasy to say the least. It was
Oh, yeah.
it was difficult. Yeah,
Oh man.
checked off the list. It was off the list that I did it, but I went and saw the doctor right away. So it was-
Well,
Oh my
steak-
God.
is off the charts, and they had their hamburgers were sirloin. They were very, very thin, which is what I like because there was no fat. But they're gone, and they really had their shakes were even voted #1. I don't understand why they closed. Their prices were good. But
Well, life is cyclical, and this is a cycle for used equipment dealers and auctioneers and realtors who are
even-
they're all gonna they'll have their hands full of business
yeah,
during this period, and that could come down to Chris as well.
Pollo Tropical's another one.
Yeah. Just
Yeah. Well, I tell you, I tried to find 4-drawer legal size file cabinets. Good luck. All right.
really?
You would think that'd be just like that. Okay. Out of stock. I went to used equipment places. I went to Staples, Office Depot, etc. And now, if you want to get a fireproof 4-drawer legal size and pay $2,500 to $5,000, but I'm not interested in that. I'm just in the basic metal 4-drawer legal size file cabinets. I finally found them basically at Expo, used furniture expo in Atlanta, and I'm going up there tomorrow because what was $350 brand new, if they were even in stock at Office Depot, I got this $99, and the guy said, "Here, I'll send you a picture of it. They're virtually brand new, Chris." And so,
But you guys are in the wrong place.
yeah.
Hey,
Well,
Look at X store and also look at the Goodwill and thrift stores. You will find them lined up in the back, practically brand new for $30, $25.
Well, hey, Terry, here, if anybody's ever looking for anything like that, let me know, because when these major corporations like Boeing and all the major aerospace companies here, when their contracts end, they sell the furniture to a wholesale. No, they give the furniture to the wholesale, and the wholesaler sells it. I picked up a 3-piece U-shaped desk for $150 that, when I looked, would have gone for over $1,000. So
Yeah.
if you guys are ever looking for anything like that, let me know. I will put you in touch with them, because they have these big, huge warehouses of this furniture
right.
that these contract companies are going to throw away. They just throw them away.
They have that here too. I went to a industrial sale where they rolled up the door, and this guy is somebody that owns a shrimp company. And if I'd have known about the file cabinets, I don't know how many he had, all kinds of office equipment, all kinds of, I mean, if you look, I know it's weird.
Yesterday afternoon and said the credit card was good. I ran it, but you have to enter it over here.
My area, it shows you pictures of what they have, and you can get ahead of, and they're right by your house. So just as a
Chris, just jump in your Miata, and Terry will show you where they are. We can strap it to the roof of your car.
Yeah.
that
But
might-
I got a couple
with the top.
armadillos up there.
Well, see, speaking about this and used equipment and something, I got not an email, but I saw it on a group. That's why I wanted Steve to hang around for this one, but I think we all know the outcome of this. Just let me read this to you. So I'm about to lease a retail space, and the owner of the property is telling me that the previous tenant has a lien on the 17-foot hood vent, walk-in cooler, and freezer, and other miscellaneous equipment. The bank won't let him remove, and his lease is up. And the owner and the old tenant are wanting me to pay off the lien in order to keep the equipment. The lien is for approximately 35% of the value of the equipment, and it's less than 2 years old. Any thoughts? Thanks in advance.
Yeah.
I was under the impression that they had to pay off the lien.
So he's gonna lease this building, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, lease a retail
Okay,
space.
okay. There's a way that he can assume the loan, the guy. But it could be like pennies on the dollar because banks probably not gonna want the hood. Or what was the other equipment? Refrigeration?
Yeah, refrigeration and walk-in cooler, freezer, and miscellaneous equipment.
So it's probably got about $25,000-$30,000 there. So 10% of that, he could probably work something out with the loan that he got the old person. If they want to work with him, they can work something out with him. Yeah, they can assume the loan and work something out with a lower amount of so he's not paying 30,000, he could pay maybe 10,000, so he could work out something with the bank. Yeah. Because typically most banks, like what I work with, anything less than 50, they're really not going to go out. You're just going to have you can just have your credit tarnished because you either default on the loan or whatever, you just walked away. Because anything less than 50 is just, they're not going to get an attorney involved and everything. So, yeah. So it's probably something that if you can talk to the guy that recently had the loan on the equipment and whoever he got it from, they'd probably be willing to do some kind of transfer and have him assume the loan and everything. Does that answer your question?
The equipment, he's getting to keep the equipment, so that's
Yeah.
also.
Yeah.
But the lien, they said the lien is approximately 35% of the value of the equipment, and it's less than 2 years old. So it sounds like a situation that he should take advantage of.
Yeah.
Sounds like a situation that shouldn't be a situation. It sounds like should have just worked it out.
Hey, Howard. Howard, I don't interrupt. I've got a jet because we got to get ready for our 10 o'clock event that we have got to go, April and I've got to go to. So everybody have a good weekend.
You too.
And we'll see y'all next week.
Mm-hmm.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye. I think Steve at one time he mentioned, let's say that if there was a tax lien on the property, the new tenant would have to pay it. Ed shaking his head yes, so I am right on that. But this is not a lien that he has to pay. This is a lien, let's say like a company like Brian's company might have leased it to him, they have a lien on it. And so you're right, Brian, they could work out a deal and buy it.
Yeah. I've seen it. I've seen it happen. So
Well, does that tie into what we were talking about earlier with all these restaurants closing up and all this equipment on the market that's available? Is I'm sure some of it has liens on it.
well,
It's an opportunity to make money. Every economic situation allows some people to make a fortune.
mhm.
And I've
Yeah.
seen it when I was on the Bowery. I saw a lot of guys buying up this used equipment and just putting it in inventory.
But the thing is, you talk about all these distributors or whatever, these vendors buying all this equipment up. There's, I think, at least 3 equipment vendors in Atlanta that I've dealt with in the past, and they got yards and yards of this used equipment. I mean, it just sits there. And there was one, like, for instance, the one that was trying to work with Steve in Fairburn. And I'm like I'm telling this guy's name is Spencer. I says, okay, so you got a lot of this equipment, and a lot of it, I would say half of it is sitting outside. I mean, the rain, the weather, I'm like to me, I would never buy equipment that, especially used, it's been sitting out there and, getting rained on and everything. But
if it's stainless steel, all stainless steel, it's not going to rust.
But there's
I mean, I wouldn't leave let's say, for example, a stainless steel table with stainless legs and a galvanized undershelf. The galvanized undershelf might rust, but if it was a stainless undershelf, you're perfectly fine.
Well, Howard, there's one good thing about that. If you leave stainless steel outside and it's made out of, it's not 302, it's 202, the 202 will rust.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
Fast, it's not proper stainless steel.
Right. It depends on the stainless steel that the manufacturer used.
Well, he didn't have that. He had
Unfortunately, there's a lot of equipment that's showing up in this country that's quote made from stainless, but it's made out of 200 series stainless, not 300 series or 400 series stainless.
Yeah.
All that means is that there's more lead in it, I believe.
Means far more iron in it
than
the chromium or whatever. I don't remember what they put in all that stuff, but it's far cheaper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They can still advertise it. They can still advertise it as stainless steel.
Yeah.
Right.
Brian, who makes the decision to release the lien or to negotiate? If I'm going to take over a place and they go, well, there's we got a lien against the walk-in refrigerator and the fryers and the broiler and the hood, and the lien is with the bank. Is it up to the bank to say we'll take X, Y, Z, or what?
You're right on that. But then also,
what if they leased it through you? I mean, what if the person who had it before I came in there had a lease that was arranged by Rogue Leasing?
We would we would negotiate, and we would have to work with the landlord, because sometimes the landlords could just say, no, I'm not going to release this. Some landlords can be just totally ass.
Because the landlord may be owed rent and it's got that equipment as collateral.
Right.
Right.
So, I mean, we're willing to negotiate, because, like I said, we don't want to go and go into litigation and everything. So we're willing to at least get something out of it, okay? But then again, it's up to whether liens are on that business. Like, for instance, maybe unpaid water bill, electric bill, things like that. So that's, and then also that comes up to where the landlord could say, well, I know the value of that hood. I want that to stay here, because hoods are very valuable. I mean, they are very valuable. So along with the fire suppression systems, I mean, those are not cheap, to put in.
The hood is valuable if the people coming in have the proper size equipment. If the hood is too short, it loses its value.
I've been there before, where I've worked with a vendor and I worked with their client, and me and the vendor were telling the guy, you need a 10-foot. You're not going to, 8-foot's not going to work, because you have all this equipment, and it's just not, and one is not going to work, and you're not going to get passed to the health inspector or whatever. And I mean, just hood, things with hoods, just people want to be cheap and go short, So yeah.
Did you get a coconut, Chris?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want one?
It's an onion growing in the coconut tree in Valdelia.
Yes.
I'm in-
Well,
That's not the only mixed marriage going on around here.
I mean, teeth and no teeth?
Right.
if you guys know any auctioneers or used equipment dealers that have the time to join us here, please invite them.
Okay.
And because I'm sure they have, I'm sure they're busy now, and I'm sure they have a lot to add to the group. In any event, we've reached the end of our time. So I want to thank you all for coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, it went fast.
Yeah.
And if you'd like to join us, give us a call at 561-620-8888 and take a look at our website, trnusa.com.
Okay, you're looking for
And we'll
Reggie
see you all
302?
next week.
All right.
Have a great week.
Okay.
Let the sauce be with you.